Week 2 of the NFL. And here's J.C. Horn. He got the QB not once, but twice last week with a pair of interceptions. It's the Blues and the Niners, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to Week 2, and we've got a good one here between the San Francisco 49ers and the Chicago Blues. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, you take a look at our home side as we interplay here. They've been buoyed by getting 2 home games right at the start, and they come off a good victory in Week 1.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. Fields it right around the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And they will be led out by their signal caller in his second year in the NFL now.
And he was terrific in the opener, threw 3 touchdown passes, and make no mistake about it, he was eager to get right back out and do it again. So I think we'll see him try to test the secondary quite a bit as this game goes on.
30 now to throw off the play action. And his first pass is incomplete.
But he certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with it. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10. Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down.
And that's something you have to get ready for defensively, because in today's NFL, teams will use their wide receivers on jet sweeps, end arounds. They'll move them back in the backfield and make them running backs. Partner, this was much more of a tap pass, but effective nonetheless.
And I think both guys love it. If you're a quarterback, it's an easy completion. If you're a wide receiver, you get the easy reception and also a chance to try to make a play with your feet. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. J.C. Horn up to make the tackle. Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line. Throwing here, Purdy. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. So the completion good for just 3. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now. This defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
Yeah, we're definitely in top form and pitched a shutout, as a matter of fact. That's the cherry on top of a great week of preparation. And you know what? These guys are eager to keep it going. So motivation this week, not an issue.
And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Off the option, he'll try and run with it. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. A little do-it-yourself run right there, and a nice game.
I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get, so he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
The numbers for McCaffrey last week. 14 carries, 63 yards, and a touchdown.
Not a horrendous week last week running the ball, but definitely room for improvement for their numbers. No doubt they made some slight adjustments to how they're going to call plays this week in hopes they can kick those numbers up a notch.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and 1 and a yard. Now that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop it.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, it's Purdy. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Brian Burns flying in there and dropping it for the sack. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they will be led out by their second-year quarterback.
And when you watch Corral play, you have to be impressed with just how fearless he is in any situation. Excellent in the pocket, accurate, ball gets out of his hands quickly. He also can break out and create big plays as well, often with his legs. A tough runner, a tough leader. This guy has big-time potential.
They'll start on the ground with Hubbard. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets into the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Corral takes a shotgun snap. He'll get that one complete to Connor. They'll give him 4 yards there. 3rd and 7 now.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
He finds his man complete. That's Connor. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. A give up the middle, Hubbard. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense, I think, in the future. If you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double-team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Back to throw, Corral. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is going to be 49er football. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Mike McGlinchey, the Notre Dame man, guilty on that one.
Still first down.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Back to throw, Purdy. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
On second down, McCaffrey. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. We're scoreless after one. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a third down coming up. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Purdy with it on 3rd and long. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
This is up and good from Pinheiro. And the 49ers take a 3-0 lead. So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
Takes it at the 7. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. They fumbled the last time they had the football. Fortunate that it only led to a field goal. 3-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's 2nd down. And we're going to stop play here, at least momentarily. It looks like there is a 49er who's in some discomfort. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Right back to Hubbard. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at 45. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find the hole.
And he coughed it up. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They start on the ground with McCaffrey. To about the 33-yard line. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll run the option left. And he lost the football. And this is picked up by the defense. And he's got some space here. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line. He had the option there, decided to keep it, exposed himself and fumbled it.
Yeah, and you worry about the hits he's going to take in that situation. In this case, not only does he take the hit, he coughs the ball up, as you noted.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Straight ahead with Hubbard. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Chuba Hubbard His third rushing touchdown on the year. And the Blues have taken the lead. So another touchdown for him on the year now, Charles. He had 2 in the opener last week and hits pay dirt for a third time here.
And with good health, he's got a really good chance to be up there among the leaders in touchdowns scored when this season comes to an end. Quick question, partner. Is it bad luck to toast him with a sports drink?
Not at all, partner. I think that's a fantastic idea. Cheers. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Throw left side, McCaffrey's got it. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And he fires one that's intercepted. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Here comes Chuba Hubbard. Let's take a closer look at it. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series for those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. Down to about the 45.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. On second down, here's Corral. He's got the connection to Moore. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Corral throwing for it on 4th. And this is caught. He hits Moore. Down the left sideline. Touchdown. DJ Moore. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Blues' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his 2nd season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
This time, the extra point up and good, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, and it finally kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. McCaffrey running up the middle. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
We remind you in just a couple of minutes we'll get you to Orlando and our good friend Jonathan Coachman. Coach will run through some of the numbers and the next-gen stats from this first half of football so far.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Now the punter, Sam Martin, called on to kick it away here. On the return, here's Agnew. That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Chicago offense set to get started. They're starting to put some space here. The first quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They've jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before, kind of cantering around a little bit, right, trying to feel their way, not getting done what they wanted to. But somehow they put it together with play calling, execution, and now there's a pretty big gap.
And they'll look to make that gap even bigger here.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
And now following the completion, we're going to get a stoppage here for an injury. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Corral to throw, 1st and 10.
That ball is caught. Marquez Valdes-Scantling.
And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
I know that no game in the NFL is ever easy, but they're making it look that way. Everything is being done with such precision. Just on this drive alone, 3 plays, 3 first downs. If you're on defense, you're scrambling, looking at each other, trying to figure out how are we going to slow these guys down.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here. These last few plays, they have moved right down the field. And just like that, they're going to be set up with a first.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago.
Chuba Hubbard
as the first half is winding down.
And the Blues would extend their lead here just before halftime. Well, they move the ball down the field through the air, Charles, and then finally they get the running game involved, and it works to perfection. Touchdown.
And, partner, I kept waiting for that running game to come into play and actually saved it until the very end. Touchdown goes on his stat sheet, but you and I both know, and he knows as well, his teammates airing it out made this a successful drive.
Gonzalez good on the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Purdy now to throw. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. A final shot before break. Purdy. And he'll let this go deep for Lazard. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. So we reach halftime, and what's been a... Sorry, Coach, put a pin in that. We are going to move right on to the third quarter here. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. So the halftime break behind us, and we are back underway with the third quarter of action. And beyond the 20, but not by much. Yard pass there to the 21. On the ground, the drive starts with Wilson. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for. A really good change of pace back.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Corral with it. First down here. He finds his man. Complete. That's Connor. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one goes for 24 yards. This offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 13-yard line. That's a 3rd down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. They'll run straight ahead with Wilson. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Another carry for Wilson. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. And we're going to stop play here, at least momentarily. It looks like there is a 49er who's in some discomfort. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive.
On 3rd down, Corral.
This is caught. Touchdown.
Laviska Shenault.
His first touchdown of the new season.
And the Blues take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. I tell you what, Charles, I know that you don't put a ton of stock into power rankings and things of that nature, but another score here, and 2 weeks into the season, this is maybe the most impressive team in the NFL. Would you agree?
Well, they've certainly sold me as they've sold you, and I agree with you, no question about it. They won easily last week, found their way to another lopsided victory here. They're definitely a team to be reckoned with, and they are serving notice to the rest of the league.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there. And sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game, but it's a significant achievement and a very, very solid career.
And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard. Well, this defense, they've got the 4-score advantage, and you can see why they continue to bottle up the run game, and really they've just been sharp in all facets here in this one, CD.
Yeah, they've kept that offense in check the entire game, and I think it's been led by what you just talked about, that defensive front, which has not allowed them to run the football and establish control of the line of scrimmage.
And the screen only good for 3 that time, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for San Francisco. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. There's DJ Moore as he and the rest of the offense head back out there. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
They'll start the drive with Wilson.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there.
A gain there of 21 yards. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Now they'll hand it off to Wilson.
And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. We have played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll run again with Wilson. And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22. 52 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try to finish off a game.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. On the handoff, it's Hubbard. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
He gets it to Thomas. And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Fourth down. Here's Corral. Finding Moore on the out route for the completion. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. A give. This is Wilson. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. From the 2 now. 2nd and goal. Again, Wilson. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Blues are on their way to a 2-0 start. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Taking it about the 1. And San Francisco gets set to go here. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left. Purdy will set up to throw it here. This is Lazard with a catch out left. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Purdy to throw it on 1st down. He's got the hook up downfield to Samuel. But he is out of bounds, but... inside the 30. Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now. On first down, it's Purdy. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Dante Jackson picks it. 30. 10. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick 6 put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. Fresh off that pick 6, here's Purdy. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that'll bring up a second down in just a couple. Now Purdy. Here's Mitchell with a catch out of the backfield. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling almost.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Brandon Smith with a nice rush to get him down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They come up on a fourth down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. Here's the punter, Martin, out to kick it away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
He's got him in, complete. And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants him to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
Gonzalez good on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fields it right around the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The 49ers ready to set up shop again offensively. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
The first catch of the game for George Kittle. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Open man is Ayuk, complete. And he is going to have a 49ers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Purdy with one final shot here. He's got Ayuk once again. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. We go to each other in practice.